introduce yourself to the world here.
I am Alex Cook. Been a volunteer here for Jesus Cares about a year now, and
Jesus Cares 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
So gotta have the 2020, of course.
Yeah, .org. Yeah, you can look us up there as well.
Yep.
But you've, man, been a faithful servant for what, 3-4 years almost now?
Coming here?
Yeah.
Actually, it's been like 18 years.
18 years.
Off and on, yes.
Wow, 18 years. Now, we've known each other now, what, 5 going on 6 months, probably,
Yeah.
Right? So when you met me, you had some different perspective of how things may or may not turn out and what we're doing here.
Yeah, but like...
Share with that, what was the presumption?
I'm a skeptic by nature, you know. I just can't help it, you know. I'm like, man, what's this guy coming in here doing this and that, and he's gonna make all these plans, and but then it's like you said, we've known each other for 6 months, and I've seen the growth, and it's becoming something. Like, and that's the biggest thing about this is it's like, it's not just like individualism or like, hey, I come in here 4 days a week. Oh, like I bust my butt. No, it's a whole community coming together and just saying, no, we're gonna all work together. Like whether it's you doing your own thing, or I'm in the back doing cooking or dishwashing, it all works together.
Right. Oh man. Yeah. So just to give an update, people haven't been really paying attention too much or are unaware of what my life's about. They knew that I was an actor and a stand-up comic, producing films. I don't know if I told you this already in the past.
Yeah, you haven't, but that's where it's.
But I got this call. Okay, just like in my bed in the middle of the night, the Creator of heaven and earth says, as fast as this is being built up, it's as fast as it's going to be torn down. Choose this day whom you will serve. Now, as someone that believes in this Creator of heaven and earth is my spiritual father, and it goes well with me when I walk in obedience. Yes, yeah. Dad said so, that's why. I've learned there's some beautiful things in the Torah, in the law of God as instructions, because that's what they are. The Torah means God's loving instructions.
I mean, you know the acronym for Bible is, right?
What?
Basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Yeah, you know what? It is such a deep, rich thing. It's personal for each and every individual. Some a great deal, some not so much. But I like to find common ground, and
I do too. Yeah. We might not always agree on every little thing because everybody's going to interpret something differently. Like when I was 14, I could go, this is a bunch of,
Yeah.
But then like now I'm like 20 years later, it's like I can still have a little bit of, maybe I don't agree with this all 100%, but I can still be mature enough to go, there's a lot of things I can get from this, whether it's, no matter the religion, just even, like I said, basic instructions, it doesn't even, like we said, it's basic. It should be basic. It shouldn't be like this complicated thing.
Oh no, our self-centeredness, self-seeking, fear-based, fight, flight, or freeze ambitions kick in like that, and we don't show up sometimes very well on this planet. And that's one thing that I'm loving about this, because I'm kind of blowing the shofar, pounding the drum, saying, we are in such perilous times, such dark times. If you believe in Yeshua, Jesus, that he is the Messiah, that he died, was buried, and rose again on the third day, and that he's coming back, that should make you kind of, looking at the signs of the time and what's going on, really just make you stop and think, maybe I need to humble myself. If I'm to die right now, am I willing to sit back and take a deep breath? Then I'm going to hear, well done and faithful servant. You were faithful over a little. I want to make you much over a lot.
But also part of the journey is, even, like I said, when I was 14, I wasn't the biggest believer in the world. I was actually probably an atheist, if you could call it one. But
from my experience of you, you were a doer of the word. You show up here. I asked you before we got on camera, What is it that keeps you coming here? What makes 18 years? We, in the short time I've been here, I've had weapons pulled on me. I've had my life threatened. We've had to break up
multiple times.
We've had to break up fights. It takes a certain kind of love, a certain kind of selflessness to keep showing up and going, I ain't dealing with that craziness no more.
Yeah, because for me, it was my grandfather. I was 17, probably like in the summer, like after I got my GED and all that stuff. I had ADD and drug issues and all that stuff. So it was like, my grandfather was just like, him and my grandmother started volunteering with St. Vincent de Paul at the time in the building. They just said, hey, my grandfather was like, I need a helper on the truck to come help. Well, I love my grandfather, so I go and help, And then over time, the more you keep coming back, it's just like, man, there's actually a lot of interesting people from so many different backgrounds and everything. And it's like, I've made so many friends over that 18 years.
All right, so dealing with the homeless population for 18 years in Sonoma County, any other place or just here?
I lived in Concord, in the East Bay for about 2 years. Okay. And it's not as bad as it was here, but I've seen it's wherever I go, I kind of see a little bit pockets here and there.
Okay, so during yesterday's workshop, I asked everybody if they remember am I pronouncing it right, Joe Rodoto Trail?
The Joe Rodoto Trail, yeah.
That one last year, it got into the newspaper about the junk that was left behind, the garbage, the feces, it was unchecked.
Let's put it this way, if anybody who had to go to their commute down Highway 12, they saw it every single day. More tents, more just garbage, and the tents are not even the bad part. It's the garbage. And unfortunately, what happens is as these groups get bigger and bigger, some people are just trying to survive. They just want their basic necessities, their roof over their head, food, water, and whatnot.
Yeah, if you can kind of, your experience and stuff, and the reason why I was bringing up the Rodoto Trail thing is that I'm asking the community to be a living amends, that we're not going to repeat that this year.
No, we're not.
We're going to take care of each other and raise the standard of our faith within ourselves and lovingly and kindly, help each other out. What do you need to get back on your feet again? That's one of the things that I'm asking for churches. My heart's desire in this ministry is anybody that comes in the door and it's cold and they don't have a sleeping bag, we've got one no matter what. We always will have a sleeping bag in stock, a sleeping pad, just basic human necessities.
And especially because we live here in Santa Rosa, I know because I live out more in the country, the mornings are cold, especially like around 3. You would think midnight or something would be the coldest. No, it's around 3, 4, 5 in the morning when that from the beaches and all that stuff, that cold wind, that's what gets everybody. Because I wake up from that. I don't have any heater in my house.
Right.
But I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, ooh, my back hurts. My
my
bones are kind of like, I have to throw 4 more blankets on me just to be able to even get some sleep. So I can that's my putting myself in other people's shoes. Go like, man, if they could at least have a sleeping bag, that would help.
The Torah says if we see a brother or sister in need, that we are not to close our hand and walk away and be stiff-necked about it. We are to help. If it's in our means, help one another.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of God's Spirit working in you regardless, and that's what it's about, being a doer. You see a need, you feel the need. If someone is just having a tough day, I've seen you be a moment of encouragement and strength for them.
Yeah, and there's also times where there's sometimes where you just want to be like, man, I don't even want to deal with you guys, just stay away. Like, I'm doing my thing, like, don't bother me. But then at the same time, it's like, no, I have to extend my hand. Hey, how you doing? Is your morning going well? Because even sometimes, I know I've worked in cashier and everything. If some random stranger just tells me, how's your day going? Even if it's not going good, it's still good to have that social interaction and just kind of, be on the same level with someone, instead of treating them. That's the biggest thing. As much as we I don't blame the person who has to walk out of his home every day and there's someone sleeping in their own piss or trash. I would get mad too. But don't treat every single person, especially someone who's just down on their luck and is doing everything they're supposed to, get a job, you know.
What would you say the percentage of people that are literally just choosing to be homeless, they don't want the accountability, responsibility?
5%.
5% or
10%, maybe at the most.
Percent.
I think more people are into not the freedom, but they get to party, basically. Like, I can do all the drugs, I can do all the alcohol. No one's gonna tell me no.
All right, so they're sunken in some strongholds.
But there also is problem is a lot of mental illness, whether that's brought on before they were homeless, and that's what led them to being homeless. Because for some people, because they didn't want to take care of their own problems up here,
yeah,
you know, it just became too much of a burden for other family members.
And
I'm a recovering alcoholic. I know about being a burden on family, you know, so I can understand that perspective. But for a lot of people, it's an unfortunate combination of just multiple things. Like some people, I've had homeless people tell me, I do drugs so I can be up all night so I don't have to worry about getting robbed or killed. And that's, I think, a reality a lot of people don't get to hear that often.
No, it breaks my heart. A young lady came into the workshop the other day and she said, "Yo, Kanan, can I just sleep? I feel so bad. I can't be in here if I'm sleeping. Some guy was filling me up all last night and I couldn't sleep." You know, it's just like...
Especially the women, and my heart goes out to all the women who have to be in this situation. Because there are going to be people who unfortunately take advantage of you, and it's hell out there sometimes, unfortunately, you know.
So, you know, we're creating a safe
haven. Yeah.
My phone's making noises, sorry guys. Yeah, make a safe haven here where we can heal and grow together. You know, the Word of God has a beautiful process of bringing healing and restoration to the mind and the body, emotions. So what you focus on, as Tony Robbins puts it, where focus goes, energy flows. Where you put your focus and your energy is going to move in that direction, and you will get momentum. The question is what kind of momentum, what kind of energy are you wanting in your body?
And I've been seeing that, especially in the last month or so. It's been picking up a lot of momentum, where now it's becoming an actual community, and the community's main focus is better yourself.
Yes.
Because how are you ever going to get anything unless you as a human being decide to better yourself? I'm not going to be a degenerate. I'm not going to do this, and this. It might suck or be painful sometimes, especially if you're already struggling with mental health or drug issues or even both. But, you know, you got to have that attitude of, I'm going to go every day hoping to be a better person.
Yeah, because one of the things that I teach in my workshop is about spiritual warfare. Everybody has felt some kind of negative, evil energy around them at some point or another. They exist. Now, society and the entities themselves do not want you to believe that they're real. They don't want you to put any acknowledgement to them, and we're not supposed to give them power by giving them acknowledgement. But they've got this world on a spiritual anesthesia drip, numb. Social media, on our phones, distraction.
Hey, I'll tell everybody right now, I'm the worst victim. I'm on Reddit 24/7. That's where I get my news, but still.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, I mean, it's just, we all are guilty of spending way too much time on there, but it's got us spiritually asleep and not being able to spiritually discern what's happening around us. Mm-hmm. You know, we have such hard times coming upon this nation like never imagined before. You know, and I'm really worried about what kind of army we can raise up in this generation. Yeah, there's a lot of confusion going on out there. This spirit.
And my biggest message too is would be even if you don't have to agree on every single thing, but be the bigger person and just go, you know what? I may not 100% like this person or agree with what they're saying or anything, but you know what? Let them be, you know? as long as they're not hurting me. At least that's my personal opinion, you know.
Right. So, you know, so we started this, what, 3 months ago? Doing the workshop?
I believe three months, yeah. Because at first we were only getting like 2-3 people, and now we're getting 10 plus, right?
Yeah, on average, it's 11 to 14 a day, right, in the last 2 weeks.
That's good.
Yeah, we had 50 people last week, you know, come through. Yeah, and it's amazing. A few of them are jumping on train. I've told the community here that I will take 10%, a tithe out of my income, out of my Social Security disability. And like, I just got my money. So today I'm going to find out who needs a sleeping bag, you know, who can use a tent, you know, and I'm going to fill that need. And I'm asking the community and church members to take a part of your tithe. It doesn't have to be the full 10%. But if it's just a sleeping bag or a sleeping pad, flashlights, we have a super El Nino coming, very wet, cold winter. Ponchos, think about what you would want if you're stuck out in the
Rain
elements.
coats, rain jackets, those will help,
Yes,
especially
big time.
during the rain, you know.
Yes, we want to give them hope to endure this process so that they can renew their faith and their trust in God and in themselves and get up to be a productive member of society once again. And there are a lot that do have mental illnesses that we minister to that just can't life. They get to a point where all of a sudden they can't think anymore. They come to a mental block, and all of a sudden fight or flight or freeze kicks in, and anger fits breaks out. People just yelling and cussing and attacking.
And as someone who's had multiple mental breakdowns, they are not fun. They are not fun.
No, you know.
You literally become unpredictable, and it is not fun. I have had them where my brain just went, I'm done with everything. I don't care. I'm just going to...
Yeah.
You're just going literally in so many directions. It's like a volley of arrows.
And then someone that you're not vibing with comes up and starts talking to you, that can just be triggered. Yeah.
I've had times where someone can just say, like, just the most random thing, but because it was like a stranger or something, and it was just like, who are you to be telling me that? And it's like, I'm up here. Whereas if I wasn't having this breakdown or any of my, whatever is going on in my head, I would have been like, oh, who cares? Walk away, you know?
You know, what was such a big blessing when I announced that yesterday, that I was going to take my tithe to help the needs. David, who's been coming, he graduated the New Life program through, what is that next door to us?
The Redwood Gospel Mission?
Yes, Redwood Gospel Mission. I've heard nothing but great things about that program. Unfortunately, they're limited on how many people they can take at a time. I think it's like 6. So there's a waiting list. I have people that are coming in here that are needing that kind of structure, a live-in situation where it's mapped out from morning to night what you're doing, where you're going to be. And I know that Sam, who does all the cooking for this kitchen and runs the show here, his heart's desire, and I'm standing in prayer, is that someone will have $1.5 million to buy this building so that we can make it another center to expand like the New Life program.
There's a lot of potential like in this area, and you know, I mean, it's not just us, it's the other people who live here too, because like one of the things we try to do is like keep the neighborhoods cleaned up, so that way, like whenever I have like court volunteers and there's nothing for me to do, hey, go clean trash, you know, because that will help way more than just staying around doing nothing.
Those garbage bags, thank you. We will use that, because that's one of the things that I've asked those who are physically able is to go out with me and pick up trash around here, you know, because that's been an issue. It's not okay to take the plateware and plasticware and all that stuff and take it out and just throw it anywhere you want when you're done eating it. That's not responsible. That's not how we show up. And
like I said, like trash, 99% of homeless, like abuse from like, let's just say civilians, would go away for the most part if the trash was cleaned up. Like I would say, I shouldn't say 99%, but a lot of your harassment or anything would definitely go away. Just take a bag, just keep a bag to yourself and throw all your trash away. Next time you're walking, just put it in a trash can, you know.
Yeah, so from now on, living behind the Hollywood life was the best thing I could have ever done. It means so much. You know, I got this beautiful email. It's kind of long. I won't read the whole thing, but in a nutshell, I don't know if you remember Corey, a young man that was coming in for a couple of months.
If I saw his face, you know what I mean, though. Yeah, there's so many people over the years.
He's from Michigan. He kind of pulled a geographical, ran away from some issues that was going on there, and he came here, thought things would be good with his dad. It didn't turn out that way, and he became homeless out here, nothing. And he's been fighting demons and voices in his head. And since we started this workshop, my main focus is helping people understand those voices and how to shut them up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And take charge. You know, it is written to take every thought captive to the obedience of Yeshua. If the thought is not, if it is not pure, it's not noble, right, lovely, honorable, or true, we cast those thoughts aside and we take massive action. This is how we take care of our mental health and our spirit man, and how we suit up and show up and love one another. It's just taking massive action on that train of thought. And that way there's no room for negative BS to come in and get triggered, because I see a lot of that. I suffer from it too, you know.
I can attest to that, because there's times where I go to sleep even when I am here, and let's just say I get into an argument with something, even if I know I was in the right, I still sometimes have trouble going to sleep telling myself, man, did I just burn a bridge, or is that person never going to come back because I told them, like, hey, I'm tired of you, you know, just whatever they're doing wrong. Not saying they're a bad person or anything, but like, you know, it's like I have that thought process sometimes, and it's hard to go to sleep. So like, but imagine now they're having all that combined.
Yeah, you know, the spirits, the darkness of this world knows our biological system in and out. It knows every neuron of our mind, and it knows how to just hit a button, set a trigger so that you will get an emotional response and act out.
Yeah.
And its end is for guilt, condemnation, shame, and remorse. It just run around the mountain again, another AI loop. But we are stronger and more able to overcome those voices when we do it together, when we rise up together, you know. And so it's beautiful. A couple others are also going to tithe and help out with tents and things, because, you know, we don't want to rely, you know, on churches or government and all that stuff. They're doing the best they can.
No, the best way is to pull a little bit from every little, not ask like, hey, you guys are supposed to be doing this because that's what you represent. So where's the money? No, it's like, hey, can we all work as a community?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's this church, this sect, or whatever. It's like,
no, it's
hey, can we all come together and just go, we all have the common goal, which is to help everybody get better.
So here's the map, the copy and paste, if you will. So in the book of Acts, it talks about, this is Jesus' resurrection and ascension into heaven, and the Acts of the Apostle, the history of what happened, right? So in the beginning, what happened, because this is in the Torah of how to take care of each other, the fatherless, the poor, the widow, and the stranger, and the needy and disabled, is the community got together and all their resources were put in one lump sum, and wherever the need was, it got delegated and handled. So everybody was not in want, they were not struggling, and they can focus on being a good, productive member of society. You know, and there's a lot of these people that cannot physically work. It's unfortunate, but they're a little, I mean, God can do anything, can bring healing, but, and I've seen it happen where somebody was just like, talking about tomatoes and apple ciders, how you doing? There's bags, and you don't know what the heck's going on, why they're saying it. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
We'll edit that out.
You know, and got a chance to pray with them and read the Word with them, and they've literally they've come in here and they're paying attention and they're taking notes. I'm like, holy cow!
I've noticed that too, because a lot less people are like, oh, here's my pastry or here's my coffee. It's like, no, this is actually helping me, and they're tuned in, and they're also participating more, which is a huge.
It's such an humbling and honoring process, you know. And I've been asked online to start recording these sessions. So the goal is you know, other cities, other homeless kitchens, get your church involved. Someone that has a heart to love on these people because they feel lost, unloved, unwanted, like pieces of trash. And they're gonna, when you think that way about yourself, you're gonna act out accordingly. So we're here to stop the negative thoughts, to take them captive and say, no, we are not going that way. And why do I feel like that's not recording this whole time? Because it's not, son of a gun. Well, that one is at least. But all right, that's okay.
That's all right. I was only looking in that camera anyways.
Yeah, we're mainly looking in that one anyways, but we got it now. I hadn't been running the camera the whole time, but it gets the main camera, but that's how that rolls.
We'll be right back after these messages.
I know, it's technical.
We have no more.
Where's my sound engineer?
Sorry, that's my Dr. Phil impression. We'll be right back.
I know it. But yeah, it is a blessing to see them come together and like, yeah, we're tired of living under the curses of disobedience. They see it. They understand that, wait a minute, if I chase after the love of God and I try to follow after his ways and do what he says, I will experience a blessing of freedom and peace in the mind and in my body. I've been healed from all kinds of stuff. I had ulcerative colitis really bad, in and out of the hospital earlier last year, or this year. You know, because I was running away from God, and he said, you know, I have work for you to do. I didn't see this. I had no idea I'd be doing this, you know, 5 months ago. Last year, I got introduced to Sam through my congregation, Hello Fellowship, and just started doing what I could in the kitchen. And then this opportunity came up, and yeah, God's been blessing it. So I would love to see other cities, you know, adopt this is what we're doing, duplicate it, it'll work.
And we're still learning as we're going too.
Yeah,
so this ain't like, it ain't model perfect, but it's getting there. So hopefully we can at least be like, kind of like the blueprint, like an architect kind of?
Yeah, you know, the ones that are out there, boots on the ground, you know.
We're experimenting and seeing what works, what doesn't, and
the biggest thing is loving them beyond the moment they're in.
And whether they come one day or don't, we still think about them and pray for them, you know?
You know, can you estimate how many number or names are on the front, back, and on this, roughly?
If I were to just go... So
this is a sheet of all the names of people that at one point or another said they would come check us out, and they have. Some have come back, some haven't, but
at least 100, at least 115.
115 blessed souls that at one point have come in. Here you'll see the initials of them when they come in, on what day. And yeah, it's how I started. I started showing up, waiting in line to have lunch with everybody, and then just being up here with Miss Mary. I didn't know that was your grandmother.
Yeah.
Right on. And she's been here just as long, right?
Yeah. Well, she started when she retired. So I think 19, 20 years about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because my grandfather retired as a garbage man, and you know, a friend of theirs that they square danced with happened to cook back in the day. But he said, "Oh yeah, you guys should come down and help," you know. And then, so she's been doing it straight on. I've been off and on here and there, you know, gotten other jobs and all, moved away for a while, went to jail, unfortunately. But anyways. Yeah, she's been consistent.
Nice. Yeah, because I really appreciate it. You've been a big help when I've needed extra coffee made, and pastries are always available for them. That's something that
I
definitely.
found the keys today, so we could actually do this today.
Yeah, I had the box back there at the microphone. That helps. But man, I really appreciate everything that you do here and the service that you provide here for everyone, because it shows them love, and sometimes it's just all they need. It's like, I'm acknowledged. Someone sees me, and they smile and said hello, and I got some food, and you're part of that process, and that is so healing.
Yeah, because I'll just be frank with everybody. My biggest hope is when someone comes here, I don't see them again. And I don't mean that in a negative way. My hope and prayer is every day is that I don't see these people the next day, because that means they got off the streets, got a job, whatever it is, they are no longer homeless.
Right.
And
Amen.
Because that's the biggest goal at the end of the day, is we are part of it, and we are helping people not starve more than anything, and give them hope, and just know that there are people who care about them, because that's what they want more than anything. It's just hope that days will get better, and they will.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we shine here is hope, and options and choices and support. We don't want to see you on the streets again. We want to see you, with your family, your home restored, or a new home.
If I work at a barbecue place, I want you to come in and buy a barbecue. After I just saw you like a couple years ago, like, yeah, man, I got off the streets, got a job, I got my own place. That's my biggest hope. And
yeah, and we're seeing that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is such a blessed thing to be a part of. So I also want to encourage those to come down, maybe just pray with somebody, be a part of passing out some of these blessed donations that we get.
And also, just to say, sorry to interrupt, but even if you're not homeless and you just need a little help, like say like you have a couple of kids or something, bring your kids in, get a meal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if that helps you, like, get through the day, like save you some money, like please come and
you're talking to most of Americans right now. They've just got their rent paid, they got their car payment and the insurance paid, and I ain't got nothing left over, man, and I still got to eat. I
gotta buy this $10 carton of eggs. Oh,
yeah. Monday through Friday, we have the biblical workshop from 12:30 to 1:30, and then immediate lunch to follow from 1:30 to 3. So always come get a free lunch here.
Yes.
And they make really good food. They put love behind it, not this jailhouse slop. No.
I see someone pour 5 packets of salt and pepper on them. I'm gonna be like, get out of here. You're silly. You're just being silly. This ain't jail, buddy. You don't have to put a whole bowl of salt and pepper packets.
So, we've been going over the 10 Commandments with Jim Staley. We're getting ready to jump on as soon as everybody shows up to part 2 of Commandment 9. I'll talk to you shortly.
Have a good one.
Take that off.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oops.
There you go.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
That was a nice conversation.
Yeah, I will, when I get it all edited and stuff, I'll get you the link.
Because there was some little... You gotta keep the Dr. Phil though.